I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
That's better.
It's official. I released my biggest secret in the world.
Nobody asked for your opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are excited for this. I know I am. I am the father. Just kidding. Okay, no, you guys, I don't know how many of you guys actually believe that, but no, many of you guys were commenting under my story saying, oh my goodness, like, are you a dad? Like, you literally like do the devil's tango with everybody. And I'm gonna be brutally honest here for a second, all right? Like, even though like I do the devil's tango a lot, from what I know of, I am not a father, okay?
I mean, what's really bizarre is the fact you get no bitches.
And the reason I'm saying from what I know of is because, you know, in the long run, like I kind of get it, you know, like, you know, we have like these things on paper where it's like condoms are not 100% safe and all this stuff. And, you know, chicks with IUDs don't actually like run through and stuff. I don't know. Like there's so many like sketch marks to doing the devil's tango. And like I always say in these stories, I don't advise anyone go do it. Like, don't do what I do. It's just not it, chief. But anyways, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba. Back to another crazy story. So if you guys saw from the title, yes, this is actually a pretty crazy story. This was back in high school. I remember this was my grade 10 year. Honestly, like this was around the time where like I was like totally going through like my like F-boy phase, and you know, my F-boy phase wasn't the best, I'm gonna be honest, but at the same time it was just a natural thing to have, I guess, for every boy's life nowadays. It's just, if you really think about it, nowadays society is like, you know, anything could be considered bad for you. Like I know like we have those kids in school that like vape like chains and stuff, and I know we have like those kids that like sit in their rooms all day playing video games, crying every night. Yeah, basically my life nowadays. But anyways, let's get straight into this. So back in high school, my grade 10 year, I was a natural kid. Okay, I was just doing my own thing. I was just, you know, being the F-boy I was. And I remember one time, like there was this one chick that I always like hooked up with and stuff. And she was a natural chick. She was kind to me and everything. And it wasn't anything severe. Like we both had our own friend groups. We both were doing our own thing. Like we didn't look like we were friends in school. But once we like, you know, got to like either my place or hers, let's just say things did go for the devil's tango.
Wahoo, it's me, Mario.
Hello, Mario.
Show me your ass.
So yeah, it was pretty exciting. But I remember one time specifically, she came over and, you know, we were just hanging out, doing our own thing. And obviously, like, you know, we did the devil's tango.
I'm done. I'm leaving.
No, please.
And things were all good and delightful. But I want to say like a week went by and, you know, this girl was not talking to me. I don't know what happened, but she was literally just ghosting me. And at first I was like, oh, okay, she ghosted me. Oh, well, time to find a new girl. Like,
Ooh. Oh, boy, look at that. Mario getting good at this game.
you know, I was just kind of like letting it go and stuff, because, you know, that's what I kind of was like back in high school. Like I didn't really have any like major attachments other than my Xbox One. But then after that, I realized I got a DM on Snapchat from this girl, and it was like after like a week and a half, and I was like, what the heck, like what's going on? And she DM'd me and she's like, oh, like I don't have my period yet, I think something's going on, like I'm not bleeding, I think you might have gotten me pregnant.
Kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now. If you're looking for nothing, and you some zero.
And like I am very worried. Now at first I was actually panicking, because like I remember in my head I'm thinking like, I can't imagine little me is going around saying like baba booey, like,
Oh no, cringe.
like it's just not it. Like I had a little panic myself, I am not gonna lie to you guys. But at the same time, I remember like thinking like how I'm gonna get this through and stuff, because I know like there's this whole thing with like abortions going on nowadays and stuff. And to be honest, instead of saying my opinion, let a girl do what she wants with her body. That's kind of my whole choice and everything. So whatever choice that is, I guess just go with that, I guess. I don't know, if you guys really want to argue about abortions in the comments, go for it, but I'm not gonna put any entitlement into it. So like I was saying, she messaged me saying that she got pregnant, and obviously I was worried and I was panicking and stuff like that. So I remember I literally texted her saying, hey, meet up with me at like Tim Hortons. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a Canadian brand, because I love Tim Hortons, and me and you can talk about this whole thing and figure it out and make sure everything's okay. She agreed, obviously, and she was like, yeah, okay, like let's go do it, like, you know, all this stuff. And, you know, like we went down there, we started talking. But then I want to say like an hour went by, and one of my homies called me, and he was like panicking and stuff over the phone. He's like, oh my goodness, like Bubba, like something crazy just happened, bro, like I don't know what's going on, man. And in my head I'm thinking like, yo, like what's going on, like are you okay, like what do you need? He told me that he got a chick pregnant. And that's where I was like really iffy on it, because I was like, wait a minute. There's no way we're gonna have kids at the same time, bro. No way. Claps, dude. No, I'm just kidding. I did not say that. I did not say that. No, in a way, I was actually like, you know, asking him questions. I was like, oh, what are you gonna do and stuff? Like, are you okay? Like, you know, instead of worrying about myself and about the chick I got problems with, I started asking about his problems and seeing what was going on, so I can kind of like learn in a way of what I should do. And he was kind of like freaking out, saying like, oh yeah, like this chick, bro, like she was saying like how like I got her pregnant and I'm not sure what to do, and like he was like, it was just freaking out back to back. And I understood it totally, because I was kind of feeling the same way. So the thing, me and my friend were both gonna have kids at the same time was a big worry, or get told that we got a chick pregnant at the same time was a big worry. I should probably reword that real quick. Anyways, so what ended up happening was I told him to literally meet up with this girl and talk to her and stuff like that. And she said, yeah, like I'm meeting her after at Tim Hortons after she's done with her dad and stuff. And, you know, I was just worried and stuff. And I'm like, in a Tim Hortons? What? I'm meeting my chick in a Tim Hortons. What the heck?
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
So I remember what ended up happening was we both had the same meeting on like the exact same day, but at different times. It was like an hour later compared to mine, which really was odd to me and stuff like that. But to be honest, like I wanted to be there and support him and stuff. So I asked him, and I was asking him like all these questions like, hey, do you want me to come with you and stuff like that? He's like, no, I don't want this girl knowing. Like, you know, I'm telling people, like, I want to make sure everything's okay.
Hey, we only like one at a time. Chill, man. It might get better. It might get a whole lot.
You can come like after, and we can hang out after. And I said, okay, that's fine, even though like, you know, I have the same issues going on. All right, so what ended up happening is that exact same day, me and this girl were heading to the Tim Hortons. We were walking, we were talking, we sat down, we had a cup of coffee, and we were just talking about, you know, how like, you know, this all came about and stuff. And the thing that really freaked me out, and when I actually started digesting like this could be my kid, was the part where she pulled out like that little like thing, that like little stick that tells you if you're pregnant or not. And she's like, this is yours. And I'm like looking at that thing, and I'm just like shaking, and I'm like, are you joking?
What is going on here?
What the hell are you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? That's hot.
At that moment, I was really debating on calling my dad, because I knew my dad was like always by my side back then for when it came to this kind of stuff. Even though he never like, you know, supported it and stuff, like he was always there for me. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I said, in high school, I always did mistakes. But
Wow. Let's just give me a second. Let me process that.
like I was saying though, I remember just sitting there, standing there, like just looking at that thing, and I'm thinking, there is no way in hell that's mine. Like I don't know, guys. This is gonna sound really crazy, but every time I do the devil's tangle,
Shut the f up.
like I take precaution, you know, my pull-out game's #1. Like I make sure everything's safe, you know what I mean? So I'm looking at this thing and I'm just panicking, and like, you know, I started like thinking through my head, like, okay, there's no way, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And then of course, you know, me and her, we talked about a plan and stuff, and we said we'll talk further, like, you know, with her parents and stuff in another day. And I was like, screw it, okay. So I remember I walked out of there, and I saw my friend came in as I was leaving, and it was my buddy that literally said he got a chick pregnant as well. Now this was really odd, because at first I'm, you know, I'm dabbing him up and like, oh, what's up, homie? He's like, oh, I'm meeting my pregnant chick. What about you? I'm like, oh yeah, I just met my pregnant chick, you know, like we were just chilling, talking, and then I realized something. He was going to the exact same table as I did with the same pregnant chick. So in my head, I'm thinking, wait a minute, bro. Like something's off here. Something's off here. He's like, oh, what do you mean? Like, you know, she told me I got her pregnant and stuff. And then like, I remember I looked at him like, bro, she told me I got her pregnant. So this is where things got fun, because I remember me and my friend were kind of like talking, and like in between that door, and we are like saying like, we should like both go up to her and see who's the real father. And we're like, screw it. Like, let's do it. Like, I'm on, like, let's go. So I remember me and him, we walked up to her and we're like, yo, what's up? You know, like we pull up our gang. No, I'm just kidding. We weren't really gangsters. We were just two random teenagers, but I'm gonna be honest. But I remember we walked up to her and we sat down at the table beside her, and we're like straight up like, okay, so listen, apparently we're both the father. So unless, you know, you're lying, what the heck's going on? So as we were sitting there, we're kind of like, you know, like obviously like interrogating her in a way. And I remember she said these words, and I actually felt kind of bad, but at the same time it was kind of funny, where she was like, oh, I remember like after like a week of not talking to you, Bubba, I was talking to him, and honestly, like when I got the stick and it said I was pregnant, I wasn't sure who was who. So I was kind of going off my killer instincts to sell whose baby's whose, and if the baby kicks, then it's yours. Bro, you literally found out you were just pregnant. A baby's not gonna kick in your stomach. Dude, honestly, it was just a whole like lot of BS. I'm gonna be honest. Like it made no sense to me whatsoever what she just said to me. It was like the baby was gonna like mind read us and like just be like, he's the father, and then send like the mother some like major magical powers to tell who like who's the dad. Like, no, I'm sorry, that doesn't work. The kid's not gonna whip his wand out and say, you're my father. father. Like, no. So I remember me, him, and her were talking, and we were just going through this all, and we're like, listen, like, this doesn't make any sense. You need to run through with us exactly what you mean, like what's going on. And I want to say like she was like kind of like getting to that verge of crying. So we like, me and my friend kind of backed off. We're like, okay, we're not going to talk about this anymore. But we told her like, once you've actually found out who the real father is, tell us, you know, like be honest with us. And she said obviously okay and stuff like that. Like we weren't gonna like really go harsh on this girl because she is, you know, she was pregnant. Like that was a real thing. And all I'm gonna say is, guys, is that after a week later, I ended up getting a phone call from my buddy saying, bro, you are so lucky. And the reason I was so lucky is because the kid was actually his. And yeah, it felt good not being a dad. You know, even though I'm called Bubba, and you know, in most languages Bubba means daddy, it feels good. Feels good. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
Well, that was a load of shit.